Welcome back to the channel. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. What is this? Cage is in the building and we're back to business. Just making sure that everything's all right. Last night I was on a stream. Internet was all wiry, fugazi. I was in and out the stream like it was the hokey cokey, but hopefully everything is good. You can hear me good. You can see me well. If you can't see me well, just close your eyes and listen, yeah? Listen here. As you come in, smash the like if you're coming in. If you're watching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Before I get into the video, just want to say a rest in peace to, I think it's Halnia Hutchins. She was someone behind the scenes on a movie that's going on, and she got killed by a prop gun, I believe was fired by Alec Baldwin. I think the director's in critical condition too. I only say that because it reminds me a lot of Brandon Lee, who died while filming The Crow, and The Crow is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, easily could be top 10 even. I love that movie, and the same thing happened to him, but that was all the way back in 93, I believe. So it's mad that that's still happening today, when you really could sub out a prop gun or bullets, whatever it may be, for CGI and it not look any worse. So yeah, it's really mad how that happened. So just thoughts to their families and everything. But listen, moving into the football, the title says it all. You know, it's been a bad week. We've seen it. You know, me and myself, Connor, David Brown went over it on Connor's channel, the Monday debrief, and you know, we got some good feedback on that. Well, here I'll be talking, and no one will be interrupting Brownie. So yeah. But this is my vehicle. This is my channel. So this is the best place to you'll ever get to hear me talk and get my thoughts on things. And I've just seen a couple of things this week that I want to talk about. And you know, the fan base is, you know, starting to get a little bit divided and everything else like that. But I just want to give my thoughts on a couple of subjects. And the subjects are, you know, like the title says, you know, we're in the mud. We are, but we're not buried, not just yet anyway. And with some of the shouts I've seen from people with players that they would like back and players they want to sign, I just think that people need perspective again. Like I say, I'm emotional sometimes, but I'm logical at most times. So when I'm seeing that the Ross Barkley rumor about us potentially wanting to sign him in January, listen, that does absolutely zero for me. And when people are saying we got no midfield and you want to turn your nose up at Barkley, that's a terrible attitude to have, because that's how you get your team full of nobodies. That's how you get your team full of nothing, with no identity, nothing at all. Ross Barkley, let me tell you exactly what Ross Barkley is, because like I say, I don't just watch Leeds United, I watch a lot of football. Ross Barkley is the exact same player he was at Leeds United on loan than he is today. He's the same guy. Ross Barkley is still a decent dribbler. His shots go over the bar wide more often than not. And also his decision making is still very, very poor. He won't pass when he needs to pass sometimes. And a lot of the games he goes missing. He started really, really well for Villa while he was on loan. But look what happened. He gets injured, as he is. He's injury prone as well. But also he just goes missing. And yet people are saying Ross Barkley, they would take him. You're not helping. Ross Barkley would not help us. If he had moved on from when he was on loan at our place, where he looked like he had all the promise in the world, he looked like he could be the next best attacking midfielder, like a Frank Lampard type that scores goals from midfield. But he didn't turn into that. He hasn't turned into that. And for us to get him would be desperate. Absolutely desperate to get a Ross Barkley. It's an absolute no from me in that sense. We need players, but you need to be more careful when you're selecting your players. You don't just take any player just because they've been linked and we haven't got a player in that position. That don't make no sense to me. You select players who you think can fit your team and that will be effective. It's just like when we see like Lewis Cook get linked here. Lewis Cook would break down in these training sessions, unfortunately. And I like Lewis Cook. I think Lewis Cook is a tremendous player. Well, a good player, not tremendous. Let me take that back, you know. But listen, you have to think about these players in training too. They break down. We're seeing it a bit with Firpo on a note of a player that we do have. Junior Firpo, just think back to when Bielsa first came here and we was having players out with muscle injuries and everything else like that for a good part of the season because they were getting used to the training. I think that's happening with Firpo a bit now, where he's getting used to the training. He hasn't played a lot of football, so he's picking up these injuries from the intensive training that he hasn't had before. So we have to give him time. You know, Bamford also used to break down with the injuries a lot under Bielsa's first year. So yeah, it's just be careful about. I know things are a bit low right now, but Ross Barkley, no, absolutely no. The other one is Alioski. Now this thing will keep going until Firpo, you know, plays himself into form where we don't need to talk about. I'm not talking about Alioski again after this, so I'm just going to make that clear as well. But it's fair. It needs to be addressed as well in this video because people saying we're missing Alioski and his attitude around the ground is one of the senior players, etc., etc. Alioski was not good on the pitch. I don't care what anyone says. He was not good overall on the pitch. And there was more times than not where people were calling for Alioski to be replaced. Now, some of those people are coming back and saying, we shouldn't have let Alioski go. It makes no sense to me. Alioski was great at overlapping, but think about the deliveries. Some of the deliveries were good, but how many times did we see that ball go into the stands? How many times did we see him try and take a shot and just balloon it over the bar? Countless times. How many times did we see him in defense almost tripping over the ball, passing it back to Liam Cooper or the goalkeeper? Please, let's not romanticize about what players are. And it goes to my point as well about just because Junior Firpo hasn't done the business yet, doesn't mean you go back to your old work. Take the example of having a striker. You could have a striker that scores 3 goals, yeah? You get rid of him, and then your next striker comes in and he only scores 2. But yet you're harping on for that striker that only scored 3 goals. You wouldn't do that. You'd go, well, this one hasn't worked. Let's try somebody else. That's what needs to be done here with the left back position. Junior Firpo hasn't had enough time yet, so we can't fully judge him at this moment in time. But to ask for someone like Alioski back, well, it just means that you really don't want to progress the team. He won't progress the team upwards in the table. The 9th place finish, unfortunately, as probably mask a few things in our squad that fans can't see past because we did finish 9th. Alioski, you don't ask for an old player back who wasn't all that just because the new one hasn't lived up to the expectations that you have for him right now. You know, sometimes you just have to think with your head, people, and unfortunately, emotion really runs through our fan base a lot, and sentiment too, because I'm not really speaking about Hernandez or Berardi too much but they've also been talked about as leaders and senior players in the team. Well, that's fair enough. Berardi, Hernandez, Alioski. Well, who's playing on the pitch then? Because those 3 certainly can't in the Premier League. So how many leaders do you want in the back room? The leadership thing is another thing where it's an intangible in football, but it's one of those that should be unspoken. A bit like when Roy Keane was playing for Man United. Absolutely unbelievable leader, but they won things. So you don't need to talk about his leadership. Vieira at Arsenal. Yeah. You've got players that are great leaders, but it doesn't need to be said. The only time that it starts to get said is when their form or their play starts to dip. We've seen that with Jordan Henderson at Liverpool. He's a great leader, but his play on the pitch isn't saying that. Yeah. Mark Noble at West Ham, great leader, but he's not getting ahead of Declan Rice. You know what I mean? Listen, leadership goes without saying. Raf is one of our senior players here. And you can tell how liked he is off the pitch when the players all commenting on their social medias to do with him at the end of the season awards with Stuart Dallas having a laugh. That's leadership, but he's also doing it on the pitch. So you know what? We don't need to talk about Rafinha's leadership because he's doing it on the pitch. Leadership is one of these things that get thrown out when the play starts to go down. Jamie Vardy, character. We want to talk about Alioski's character. Jamie Vardy is one of the best characters in the game. You've heard it on here before. He's a legend of the game. He's a legend of the Premier League, Jamie Vardy. But you know what? His character gets spoken about once every so often because his play on the pitch still dictates he's a top player. So we don't need to talk about Jamie Vardy's character. Whereas Alioski, that's all we're hearing. Oh, we need him back for his character and stuff. No, we don't. These things are here Those are the kind of intangibles that should be unspoken. They should be secondary, not primary. So in that case, it's not about pining for old players or players that you think will be better than the ones we've got. It's about recruitment stepping up and being better. And we won't know that now, people, until January. January is the next time that we can get anybody new in. So there's no point pining for players now. We've got another couple months of this squad, unless the senior management see fit to change it or not. This is what we have. So we have to work with what we got now. But I just needed to give my thoughts on the whole Ross Barkley, Alioski, and Hernandez and Berardi thing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy when I see people thinking that we need these players back. So we got 3 players in that can't really play first team football, but at least they'll be good in the dressing room. The dressing room will be fine when you win games on the pitch. Give me wins on the pitch over dressing room camaraderie and teammateship any day of the week. Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham hated each other for years, didn't speak. They literally did not speak to each other. But you would never have guessed that, because guess what? When they were playing up front together, they used to score goals. You don't always have to be matey with the people that you work with. It helps and it's great. Trust me, it's great. But if it isn't a friendship, as long as you're doing it on the pitch, that's all that matters. Okay? That's my thoughts on that. That's all I want. That's what I want to say. Just going through. Yeah, Rick, I've said this before. Rick saying, I would love to see Calvin as captain. That's it for me. A captain, you can have your club captains. You know, we see it at Sheffield United. Billy Sharp is their captain, although he's back to playing now. They're in the Championship. Mark Noble is actually the captain at West Ham. He doesn't really play that much, so Declan Rice gets the armband. Harry Kane's a leader at Tottenham, but he's not Tottenham captain. It's Hugo Lloris. So for me, the way that Calvin Phillips is on and off the pitch, he can back it up with his brilliant character off the pitch and his play on the pitch. He would be perfect captain material, yeah. Because at the moment, I think the whole captainship is hamstringing our team, where it just seems our captain just has to play. So, I mean, this is a lot what I'm seeing from rival fans. Reese is saying, "Big up KG, your team without Phillips and Rafinha is a relegation side." You know. Yeah. And John H, we're always obsessed with players we don't have. The transfers are more hit than miss anyway. Listen, all transfers are definitely not going to hit. I would say that obviously Rafinha's been an absolute, home run. Diego Llorente is a home run too. If he stays fully healthy, you'd see that more. Robin Koch, I mean, he's going to be out another month apparently. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, not every transfer is going to work. It doesn't work like that. If everyone was like that, then everyone would win everything, right? Everyone have a chance of winning everything, but it don't work like that. Bjorn is saying can't compare Gianni with Junior. 3 to 4 years in the system against 3 to 4 games. Yeah, this is not a usual, playing all 4-4-2 system or 4-3-3. It's quite a complicated one that Bielsa's adapted. So yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. That's why I say I'm not counting out Junior Firpo. He's injured again with a muscle thing. We saw this in the first year of the Championship with players. So, let's give him some time and not pine for someone that was more known for shaking the bloody tunnel than his on-field consistency, please. And also just another thing on Alioski. The guy left the club. He did have a contract offer. The money probably wasn't good enough. Fair enough. That's his prerogative. But the guy's gone to Saudi Arabia, people. He's gone for the security. And again, nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying he's not in a real competitive league. So he's gone from the Premier League to Saudi Arabia. Please bear that in mind as well when you're talking about if Alioski would have been good for us this year. Would his play have been the same? Would his head have been the same? I don't know. But he's gone to Saudi Arabia. Just going through some of your comments here. Yeah, Jason is, stating it. Yeah, but a fully fit team would be fine, really. Yeah, but again, we don't have that. We never have. I don't think we've ever put out our strongest 11 in the Prem, and if we have, it's probably for 1-2 games at best. There's always players missing in our team, which makes the transfer activity even more questionable, doesn't it? But yeah. So people, just going through Bielsa's comments too yesterday. I'm just taking these from Senior or Phil Hayes' page. It's just a couple of things, really. Bielsa, of course, I don't ignore the last game. Wasn't just another game. We were very far away from playing how we tried to. Yeah. And if anyone knows the "I don't have the capacity" meme that goes around, he even said in adversity, "I don't have the capacity to do anything outside of football that generates pleasure." This man actually used the "don't have the capacity" thing. But it's the thing about Calvin Phillips will be out tomorrow. Bamford, Ayling are out. Rafinha's back in. Cock is out for a month. Firpo is out. Could be back for Norwich. But it's that thing again. If Calvin Phillips is, and I've seen it. I've seen some of the comments where if Calvin is ready, playing. But what I would say is if Calvin Phillips isn't completely ready, like if there's any chance of any kind of relapse in his injury, just leave him out, because if he gets played and he gets injured, then Bielsa's going to get hammered. So it just feels like either way in that scenario, Bielsa can't win in the whole Calvin Phillips being fit. But if Calvin was to say, "I'm good to go," I would fully expect Calvin Phillips to be playing. Wow. Formula Sonny, no motivation in this team anymore. Yeah. Yeah, truthfully, that's what I was going to say. Bielsa looked lost in that press conference, had no answer to why we played so poor. Yeah. And he's saying about not doing the same things and being better. It's an old trope. It's a tired trope. But for me, if you're going to start both Rodrigo and Tyler Roberts tomorrow, then what's the point in keep saying these kind of things? Like I say, as you always have to preface these things. It's so annoying, but you have to preface, I don't want Bielsa to go anywhere. But if you're starting both of those together, we're starting with 10 men. We're starting with 10 men. It's simple as that. They've done nothing for me to say that they're going to be effective in tomorrow's game. They've done nothing. So, and if we saw one of them, because listen, our squad is thin. It's thin. So one of them is going to have to play. So for me, out of the two, it's like giving me a bloody choosing to die between a bloody gun and a knife here. But give me Rodrigo in there and play Gelhardt up top. What I've said before about those two guys is that they're giving us zero, like literally giving us nothing. So if Gelhardt comes in and gives us nothing, well, we haven't lost anything that those two haven't already given us overall. I think Brownie said on the show Monday that Tyler Roberts has got something like 2 goals in 60 games. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds very correct. It sounds very, very correct, actually. Listen, certain centre backs wouldn't accept that. There's fullbacks that get more goals than that in 60 games. Well, what are we talking about here? You know, that's what I'm saying. Listen, it's up to Bielsa and the players tomorrow to show up and show out. They need to prove to us that they're in this, because the games overall this season have shown that they're not in this at the moment. Even against Watford in our win, should have been better. So, and the calls for Forshaw, I mean, listen, that's another thing. Of everything that I say on here, you guys know how I am. I cannot, with a right mind, ask for Forshaw to start a game. Yes, he's one of our only central midfielders we have. But for me, I would much prefer to see Bate start over Forshaw from what I've seen of Bate. See if he can step up and give us something in that midfield. Give us a bit of injection. And if Bielsa doesn't want to play Bate at this stage, he wants to keep him under 23s for some seasoning, okay, we'll move Shackleton into the midfield then. So give us that energy at midfield. And if Ayling isn't back yet, start Drama at right back. Do something else. Because for me, Forshaw was an okay championship player at best. If you ever hear me at this moment in time without Forshaw proving to me and to other fans that he's capable of playing in the Premier League, well, we might as well just give this up. Pack it up, people, because it's going to be a long season. Nah, it we need something else in that midfield. And if moving Shackleton into midfield is it, and then starting drama, I would go with that. But we've got to do something. We have to do something. Wolves. Speaking of Wolves, they're in good form. They're playing good stuff. They're looking much more solid under Lag. It's going to be a tough one tomorrow. It's going to be a tough one. I'll go into the prediction just a minute, but yeah, Formula Sunny. Bielsa is playing on the past, not form. Why Creswell dropped, and that's what I'm saying. Like Creswell was solid. Whether he should start every game, I don't know, but I would start with Strike and Llorente at this point, and rotate Creswell as the third one. That's what I would do currently. But I'm not Bielsa, so I can't, influence that. But I would start with those two and go from there. More X. Okay. More X is of the opinion, KG. We are down if Bielsa stays. He doesn't understand what a Prem club needs. Wow. Okay. T85. Did Shako click in the Calvin role in that Villa win? Might have been Click if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly how that lined up. I do remember that Shackleton was involved in the build-up to Bamford's beautiful hat-trick goal. I do remember that, so I'm not sure if he started or not. It's too far back for me. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just put Shackleton back in his natural role of midfield, man, and see what he can do. It can't be any worse than what we're not getting from any of our central midfielders right now, bar Phillips when he plays. Disabled team, shout out to you guys. First of all, 8563 Robbie Criswell is better than Cooper. No doubt. No doubt about that for me. Disabled team, I'm with UKG. Can you remember when you said it's not time to be sentimental of the players who got us promoted? Yes, I do. Are you the same ilk with Bielsa too? Oh, I see. Oh, damn. You guys, man. I swear you guys have got me in the first half again. That's happened before with you guys, I'm sure. Shout out to you. But yeah, listen, people. It's about what he's doing to change things. It's about if he's going to adapt his ideas. We've seen him adapt already in the second half of last year. He did adapt because our game management in the second half last season was way better than it was in the first half. We weren't playing at 100 miles per hour. When we was ahead later in the games, we was taking our times with throw-ins. We were going over for those easy fouls to break up the play. We were adapting. So this is up to Bielsa. He's always saying that he learns from his mistakes. He sees what he did wrong. Well, let's see if he's really about that. Let's see if he can get us out of this funk. Because he's already said he's not enjoying it. He's not enjoyed what's happened this week, etc. I can imagine, for any of his faults, he loves the football and he doesn't like losing. And I get that. But then it's up to him now to change things. And if he doesn't change things, I can't say at this point disabled team, because listen, if Bielsa goes, who comes in for him and works with the current players we've got? I made this analogy. I don't know if Brownie let me finish it on Monday, but I said Bielsa has got a lot out of these players who were mid-table championship players, a lot of them. Yeah? If you was to get in, let's just say the old cliche, Sam Allardyce to come in, all of a sudden, whatever the training they were doing before, the dietary things they were doing before, all goes back to nothing again. You think you'd like to believe that the players would continue? They won't. It's just like being in an office and you're getting along well with your team. Your manager's great. That manager moves. You get a new manager who wants to change everything. All of a sudden, your team's not working as well because of the new manager, and you start changing the way that you work. It happens in a load of sectors. So for me, no, I wouldn't get rid of Bielsa. But what I want to see from Bielsa, disabled team, and anyone else that's wondering that, is I want to see him adapt. We need to see it because it's not working right now. Hasn't worked all season. We cannot count Watford. We cannot count Watford as working because we should have won that. Last year, we were winning that game 4-0, easy as well. Winning that game 4-0 with the amount we dominated. But also, what we have to remember is with the size of our squad, we also have to wait for Phillips, Bamford, Rafinha to come back. So let's not get ahead of ourselves with anything like that, because we don't have a strong bench. We don't have, other key players, a like for Rafinha. We just don't. We don't have another replacement for Bamford. That's why I'm saying Geldhart. Let's see what the kid can do. So let's see what we like when we're back to full strength. That's what I would say. Uh, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Disabled team following on. I'm not saying to sack Bielsa, but I think it's okay to question Bielsa when he gets things wrong. Yeah. If you're not questioning what's going on now, then you're obviously in that happy go get along kumbaya gang that just wants to support the team no matter what. But I tell you, you're seeing what's happening with that at Arsenal, where they were, and how people are just blindly backing Mikel Arteta. Do you want to get to that where you're just backing the team without questioning anything? What's the point of talking about football if we can't question things that are going wrong? We praise things when things are going right, as you should, but you have to question things when things aren't working. Yeah, and Ronan, heading over to the game from Island KG, really hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it for you too, man. I hope it's worth it for you too. Pecan, when you have Bielsa, you take the good with the bad, but everyone needs to stop thinking he suddenly hit his head and got stupid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's stupid, but it goes into this from Robbie. Bielsa is an uncharted territory by being at a club so long. It's new for him too. He's got to adapt to that too, because Bielsa's not been at a club as long as he's been at Leeds United. So I really do believe that he's grown attached to a few of these players and is not really full seeing the big picture in regards to maybe taking a few of them out for some games and trying some other players. I do believe that too. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be something where everyone just wakes up. Bielsa, the board, fans, and I put myself in there too. People, I'm not, I'm not exempt from that. Just need to wake up and just look at the bigger picture. Shout out Stephen Houston. Good work, KG. I caught the Southampton post mortem and the talk with Connor and Brownie, but haven't been able to interact live. Well, you're here now, yeah. So yeah, people that are here live, please like the video. People that are watching the replay, please like the video. You know how it goes. Tom Gatlin, yes, the squad's depth is a huge problem, but man marking system just doesn't work. See, and this is a point I made on I think it was yesterday when I was in and out of a stream. But our style of play does work, but you need to have better players to implement it. It's just like if you replaced a lot of Liverpool players with lesser players, they would probably get beat a lot too, because that kind of style of play is very unique right now. But they've got the tools, they've got the players that can do the system. We can do this system, but you need to have better players in place overall. That's what it is. So again, that goes to Bielsa now, just to say, okay, this isn't working with this current group. Let me try something else. Let me try and do something that makes us not so easy to bypass in midfield. I promise you, you don't see any other team in the Premier League, no matter how bad they are, where centre backs are roaming forward to near the edge of your penalty box. I promise you, you're not. Chufla is saying, I will always support Leeds, but after what happened in the past, it's fair to have questions when things aren't working. Never blindly follow anyone. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with questioning. It doesn't, again, we don't play the who's the biggest fan thing here. You don't win no prizes here, okay, for if you think you're a bigger fan than anyone. You're allowed to question stuff. It doesn't make you any less of a fan. It makes you a concerned fan. It makes you, it consumes you. Look, listen, football gives us a lot of pleasure, yeah? When things have been going right under Bielsa, which they have been more often than not, that's another thing a lot of people need to remember. It's gone right much more than it's gone wrong. But when it's given us the best moments, you're jumping, you're bouncing, your weekend's great. Like you're showing off in front of all your rival fans, like saying, yeah, you might be this, but look at the way we play football. Look at our results. We're playing great. We're one of the best teams to watch. It's not that case right now. So we have to eat that and we have to question it. more. Shout out to Moore, man. He, she, always here. We could lose 10-0 on Saturday and the fans will still give Cooper a round of applause. Yeah. Listen, this isn't going to go on long. I'm going to go on to that now. And Robbie is saying that he's preparing himself for a last versus Wolves. Hope he's wrong, of course. He's going with his head for this one. Yeah. Yeah. Harmony in the house, always showing support. Thank you, Harmony. 3 improvement, Cal. I think it's Cal Juice Day at centre midfield. Whoa, we're not getting Kulievski from. If that's the one from Juventus, we're not getting him. Isaac, clinical finisher. Sil Rodrigo, Robertson, Click. Harmony. I mean, I would love those a couple of those suggestions, but listen, we're not getting those players. I saw Coop Miners Coop Miners. That's got to be my swear jar in here, isn't it? I think Tyler Roberts, Coop Miners. There might be something else to say quite often. That might have to be my swear jar. But I saw Coop Miners against Man United this week and said, yeah, no wonder we didn't get him. Man's in the Champions League balling out, and they took him off and lost the game. Not saying that's the reason, but man, what a player. Yeah, this is it. Oh, Steel S, thoughts on Greenwood. I'm assuming you mean our Greenwood. I don't know if he's ready yet. I haven't seen enough of him to suggest that he would be ready. Like I've seen enough of Creswell and Gelhardt and Lewis Bate. I believe that those 3 are ready, and there's no perfect time to not throw these guys in. So let's do it. I'm not sure about Greenwood though. I'll be honest. So that's why I'm not shouting for Greenwood to start yet. Yeah, I mean, Michael. So does Phillips have to be fit enough to do 3 players' jobs to play KG? I think that's probably it. They probably saw he could run around for like 70 minutes and then he kind of like taps out. But no, we need Calvin Phillips at optimum health. I don't believe in playing players just because they're nearly ready to go. If he feels that he's not ready to go and sit this one out, then sit this one out. And you got to think of long-term games over short-term games in this game. So if we miss him tomorrow, we have to miss him tomorrow. But this is the thing. We should have had somebody else in place of Calvin Phillips. But listen, that's an old drum that we keep beating. We can't do nothing about it now. Wow, Harmony, that's ambitious. Let's have a look. Harmony saying we raised 30 million by selling Rodrigo, Roberts, and Click. Harmony. How did you get to 30 million? Break that down for me, Harmony, please. I beg you. Break that 30 million down, how you got that for those 3 players. One leaves, I think that's Connor. Sounds like you'll need a debrief afterwards. Yeah. But I'm not being interrupted here. I can talk here, Connor. You get me? But no, listen, Wolves, okay. At this moment in time, and I've put it in my Super 6 as well, so you know it's official. Because it's nearly the same squad that played last week, plus Rafinha, who is obviously going to give us something in the game. I've gone for a 2-1 Wolves win. Same thing with West Ham. Once again, this is for the players. This is for the team to prove me wrong. Please, please. I'd love nothing more to be proven wrong. Whenever it's something like this, please prove me wrong. But nothing so far this season overall, nothing so far in the games that we've seen, even in the win against Watford, would tell me against this Wolves teams that are coming up who are really good all around the pitch right now. Huang, Jimenez, Podence, Saiss, their goalkeeper Sarr. Everything about them, Neves. Listen. Yeah, my head is saying a 2-1 loss to Wolves, unfortunately. The most my heart can muster up is a 1-1 draw. That's the reality. I can't blindly back the team to predict a win tomorrow when I don't believe it. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. 2-1. Give me your score predictions for people in the house. Give me your score predictions here. If you're watching the replay, give me your score predictions in the comments. But yeah, I just can't see how we beat this Wolves team. You have to consider how well Wolves have been playing, and they're only getting better. Take that comeback victory against Villa aside. They didn't even have to beat Villa last week for me to be convinced that they've improved. But that just shows again the tenacity, and that's team spirit what they've got there to come back in a game in a Midlands derby. So yeah, but like I say, I'm happy, so happy to be proven wrong tomorrow. So please, guys, Leeds players, prove me wrong and shut me up, please. John H is going 2-0 Wolves. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Disabled team 3-1 Wolves. Liam G 1-1. T85 Desmond 2-2. Yeah, it's good old Desmond 2-2. Sunny 0-0. More X. Boy, you make me laugh, man. You make me laugh. You like Bandy on this channel for me. You give me some light relief. But yeah, KG Wolves win 4-0. We are crap, basically championship. No sugarcoating for more there. All opinions welcome here. You know how it is. John B, you know how I am. Honesty always. Even if it hurts and even if it's not what people want to hear, I'm always going to be real, man. Bobby 1-0 win for Wolves. McAllister Bishop is going for a 2-1 Leeds win. Bielsa has shown us he can adapt and learn. The players we want him to prove the point to the fans that we are good. I hope you're on it. McAllister, I'm with you all the way. I hope so. Paul G, 3-1 Leeds. Get Villa vibes from last year. Rodrigo to have a worldie. Hey, come on now. That's optimism, Paul. I'll give you that. Take a 2-2, but not sure where our goals come from. Okay. Harmony 3-1 Leeds. I'm obviously unwell today. Chufla 1-1 and Robbie 2-0 to Wolves. Dave 2-0 to Wolves. Got to be realistic. Then it doesn't hurt so much when it happens. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The hope kills you, people. When you hope, I mean, we're all hoping we win, of course. But if you're gonna really just paint yourself into a corner and say, "Nah, no, I don't care. I'm backing us no matter what. We're gonna get it." You'll disappoint yourself even more. Trust me. Michael DiCaprio, no relation to Leo, I don't think. Just win. Yeah. Gil Saville, 2-1 to Wolves. Yeah, disabled team. There's no point doing a YouTube channel if you aren't prepared to be honest. Well, disabled team, I would disagree with that because there's a lot of YouTube channels that are very, very successful where people just ride the wave and say what people want to hear. That's how they do very well. So looks like I'll always be in the mud, yeah. John B, we may be in for a present surprise. You never know. Please let it be. Let it be. Theo Novakovic, 5-0 leads Roberts hat trick. Theo, if that happens, I'll have to send you something. You'll have to come back here, email me, message me on IG, something, and I'll send you a prize because, brother, if that happens, woo. Oh man, no, that's tremendous. That's tremendous. Harmony, you did break down that 30 million, but I think it might have gone too far. I'm just going to try and... Oh, here we are. 18 to 20 million for Rodrigo. 5 or 6 for Click and Roberts. Harmony, I'm afraid to break it to you. We're not getting no 18 or 20 for Rodrigo. That's one where we have to accept a loss on that. Bit like what Arsenal are going to have to do with Pepe and that 72 million. We're not getting 18 to 20 for Rodrigo right now. We're just not. So this might be one of those Rodrigo ones where you'll see them go out on loan with view to a permanent move, and it's at best 13 to 15 million. And I'm being very optimistic there. I just don't see it happening considering his age and form that he's been in while at his time at Leeds United. So, but yeah. Connor, I think it's Connor. When he goes by one Leeds fan channel, I never know, but I think it is Connor. This man-for-man system against Wolves will be a huge problem. Trincao, yeah, Trincao. I didn't even mention Trincao. Opponents already giving him sleepless nights. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Harmony saying that we had offers of 20 million but turned them down. Hmm. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. I know there was inquiries for Rodrigo, but the inquiries from Barcelona and they don't have no money, so I don't know where they would have got that 20 million from. So if we're talking about the interest from Barca, they would have probably wanted him on loan or something like that. So I'm not sure if that's even correct. Oh wow. Oh, okay. But yeah, people, I'm gonna end the video here. Yeah, like I say, leave your comments in the comment box after the video about what you're thinking. You're always welcome there. Shout out to everyone that's tuned in. Shout out to everyone that's going to tune in afterwards as well. And I will see you tomorrow for the debrief, for the post-match reaction. Not debrief, that's Colin's thing. For the post-match reaction tomorrow after the game and see where we are. Hoping for the best, people, but I think Wolves are going to take it. Let's hope I'm wrong. Peace out.